of Guru Shri Anand Dayanand for many years, and she has done Upanyasams from the age of 7 in various topics from Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Ramayana, and Bhakta Vijayam. She will be rendering Bhakta Tukaram Charitam for VRSC for Vishwarupa Sai Consciousness on July 24th. So Vishwarupa Sai Consciousness is heartfully welcoming you, Aditi, to offer Bhakta Tukaram at the lotus feet of Vishwarupa Sai. Thank you for being here, and we are pretty much waiting to hear from you. Sai Ram. You need to unmute. You have unmuted. Can you speak, Ma?
Sai Ram, am I audible?
Yes, now you are audible. Please sing one line so that we can see how the device is receiving.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I start?
Just sing one line, Ma, so that we can see how it is coming.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Okay, it is coming very nice. So you can start, Nana. Sai Ram. Thank you, Julius, for recording. Sai Ram.
Gopika Jeevan Smaranam Govinda Govinda Janaki Kanta Smaranam Jai Jai Rama Rama Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai Pandharinath Maharaj Ki Jai Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ya Kundendu Tusharahara Dravana Ya Shubhravastra Vrita Ya Veena Varadanta Kara Ya Shveta Padmasana Ya Brahmachuta Shankara Prabhritve Devai Sada Vandita Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jadyapaha Alankapuri Punya Bhumi Pavitra Tithe Nandato Jnana Raja Supatra Taya Tavita Mahapunya Rashi Namaskara Maza Sadguru Jnaneshwaranchi Pandhari Sarika Kshetra Nahi Kundalika Sarika Bhakta Nahi Vithoba Sarika Daivata Nahi Tukhoba Sarika Sadguru Nahi Nandasunu Radhikam Cha Bhavayantam Sada Priti Vandeham Gurudevam Tam Krishna Prema Rasapradam Kalage Sundarakaram Sadaika Priyadarshanam Ajnana Nashakam Devam Sadgurum Muralidharam Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. On this auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima, today we have got an opportunity to look through the life journey of Sant Tukaram Maharaj, a great devotee of Lord Panduranga and also a guru for all of us. So when we talk about the glory of Sant Tukaram Maharaj, the glory of Lord Panduranga, and the glory of Pandharpur, we say Pandhari Sarika Kshetra Nahi, Kundalika Sarika Bhakta Nahi, Vithoba Sarika Daivat Nahi, Tukkoba Sarika Sadguru Nahi, Pandhari Sarika Kshetra Nahi. There is no place on this earth which is as holy, whose glory is as good as that of the Kshetra of Pandharpur. So the Kshetra of Pandharpur is a very holy place. So we may have a question in our mind. When we talk about the holy places of India, we name 7 places which is known as Sapta Moksha Puris. Those are Avantika, Dwaraka, Kashi, Kanchi, Haridwar, etc. So we may have a question in our minds that Pandharpur is said to be such a holy place, then why is it not listed in the list of Sapta Moksha Puris? So our Gurunathas give an answer to this question. They say, what is the meaning of Sapta Moksha Puris? Sapta Moksha Puris means if we either live or if we are either born or live in those Sapta Moksha Puris, we attain Vaikuntha, the holy abode of Lord. But when we talk about Pandharpur, we term Pandharpur as Bhuloka Vaikunta Samana. We say Pandharpur is equivalent to the Vaikunta of earth. So in Sapta Moksha Puris, if we either live or if we are born there, then we will attain Vaikunta. But Pandharpur is in itself Vaikunta, and hence we don't state it separately in the list of Sapta Moksha Puris. But Pandharpur is such a holy place that its glory is unmatched. And hence we say, Pandhari Sarika Kshetra Nahi, Kundalika Sarika Bhakta Nahi. There is no Bhakta whose glory can match that of Kundalika. So who is this Kundalika? Kundalika is the reason why Lord Panduranga came to Pandharipur and he is blessing all of us. So what is the story? How did Lord come to Pandharipur? Kundalika was a Bhakta. Was he a very great devotee of Lord Panduranga? The answer is no. He was a great devotee of his parents. He and his wife were highly devoted to Kundalika's parents. They were so devoted that they knew no other god other than their parents. Such was their devotion. Every time they were involved in service to parents, they knew no other god other than them. So Kundalika was living in Pandharpur with their parents, and he used to take them every day to the Bhima river to have holy bath. This was the time when Lord Krishna was living in Dwaraka as the king, Dwarakadisha. This is the Charitra during the Dwapara Yuga. So when Lord Krishna was living as the king in Dwaraka, says Narada Muni came to have darshan of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna asked Narada Muni, Swami, every day crores and crores of bhaktas come to have darshan of me, but one day I wish to go and have darshan of a particular bhakta. So you please show me, you please guide me towards one such bhakta who's so good that I myself can go and have his darshan. So when Bhagwan asked this question, without a second thought, Narada Muni replied, Swami, you go to Pandharpur. In Pandharpur, there is a bhakta known as Kundalika. He is so good that you yourself should go and have his darshan. Why did Narada Muni name Kundalika out of all so many great bhaktas? The answer is that Lord Krishna, throughout his life, throughout his Krishna avatar, he had one regret in his heart. He thought, I was born in a jail to Devaki and Vasudeva, but due to the fear of Kamsa, due to Kamsa Bhaya, I told them, Tarhimam Gokulam Naya, you please drop me in Gokula. In Gokula, he was brought up by Yashoda and Nandagopal, but even there, he couldn't serve his parents properly. properly because he had to return to Mathura within a few years because he had to kill Kamsa and fulfill his incarnation purposes. So throughout his life, he couldn't serve his parents properly, and Lord Krishna had this regret. Narada Muni very well knew about this regret of Lord Krishna because, as Lord says, Sadhavo Hridayam Makyam Sadhunam Hridayam Svaham. I and my bhaktas have Eka Hridaya. We very well know what is going on in our minds. We can understand each other very well. So Lord says Narada Muni very well knew about this regret of Lord Krishna, and hence he said, you go to Pandharipur and have darshan of Pundalika. He is such a great devotee of his parents. Hearing this, Lord Krishna and Rukmini Devi left for Pandharipur. And when they left for Pandharipur, they dressed themselves like local people of Maharashtra. Lord wore a yellow dhoti and a turban, and Rukmini Devi draped her sari like that of a Maharashtra woman. They dressed themselves like Maharashtra locals, and they came to Pandharipur. They stood at the doorstep of Pundalika, and Lord was repetitively calling Pundalika's name. Pundalika, Pundalika, he was repetitively calling. But Pundalika was engaged in service to his parents. He knew that there was some guest standing at the doorstep. However, he couldn't leave that service to his parents undone. Now he was in Dharma Sankat because Lord, he was doing his service to parents and he couldn't leave that undone. And also, there was some guest standing at the doorstep, and our Dharma says, Atithi Devo Bhava. Treat your guest like a god. So now he was in Dharma Sankat as to whether to attend to his parents or the guest. So he saw that there was a brick lying over there. He took that brick and he gave it to that guest. He didn't even have a look at who had come to visit him. He gave that brick as an asana, as a sign of respect to that guest, and he said, I am doing my service to parents, so you please wait here. I will come and attend you. Saying so, he went and continued his service to parents. Just because his bhakta gave him that brick as an asana, Lord Krishna stood on that brick with his hands placed over his hips, and his eyes were filled with tears because he was enjoying the way this Pundalika was serving his parents, and he thought he's such a lucky fellow that he got an opportunity to serve his parents in this way. But look at my Durbhagya, I'm such an unlucky fellow that throughout my life, I couldn't serve my parents so devotedly. Thinking so, his eyes were filled with tears and he was enjoying the way Pundalika was serving his parents. And Pundalika, after completing his service, he came to attend the guest. And it was then that he saw that Lord Panduranga himself had come to visit him. Then Pundalika says, Swami, please do not mistake me that I did not attend you. I had no intention of disrespecting you or humiliating you. I was serving my parents and hence I couldn't leave that undone and hence I had to keep you waiting. So please forgive me if I had done something wrong. Lord Krishna says, Pundalika, I am so pleased by your devotion and service to parents, and that is the reason why I came here to bless you. So I'm very happy by the way you're serving your parents. So I'm ready to grant you any boon. Please ask for a boon. Pundalika says, no, Swami, I don't need any boon. You just bless me that I continue to serve my parents the same way and I continue to have devotion towards them the same way. Lord Krishna says, you're already having that, you're already doing that, and that is the reason why I'm standing in front of you. So you please ask for some other boon. Now Pundalika said, Swami, I every day take my elderly parents to have holy baths in the river of Bhima, which is flowing in Pandharpur. But that Bhima river is very far away from my place. So my parents find it difficult to every day go that far and have holy bath. So you please alter the course, alter the flow of Bhima river in such a way that it flows through the backyard of my house. That it flows through the backyard of my house. Hearing this, Lord Krishna drew a line with his fingers through the backyard of Pundalika's house, and the next moment, this Bhima river started flowing through his backyard. And till then, Bhima river had a straight straight course of flow, but since Lord altered its flow, altered its path, now it had a curvy path by flowing to Pandharpur. And when we have a birth of that path of the river, it looked like a half moon while flowing through Pandharpur, and half moon is known as Chandraprabha in Sanskrit. And that is the reason why Bhima river got the name Chandrabhaga while flowing through Pandharpur. So Lord altered the course flow of this Bhima river as per the request of Pundalika, and then Lord again said, even this you asked for the comfort of your parents. So you please ask something which is exclusively for you. Then Pundalika said, Swami, you have come here because you were pleased by my devotion and service to parents. This fact has to be known to the world. They should know that if we serve our parents with ultimate devotion, then the Lord Himself is pleased and He will come to bless us. And hence, you stand here only the same way you're standing right now. You stand here only in Pandharpur and you bless all the devotees who ever come to Pandharpur. And just because Pundalika asked this boon to Lord Krishna, since that time, since the Dwapara Yuga, Lord Krishna is standing. That too, he mentioned that stand in the same way. So he even now is standing on the brick which was given by Pundalika with his hands placed on his hips and showering his blessings on all of the devotees who ever go there. So in this way, it was Pundalika who got Lord Krishna from Dwaraka to Pandharpur, and hence we say Pundalika Sarika Bhakta Nahi Vithoba Sarika Daivata Nahi. There is no Lord, there is no God who is as good, who is as great as Lord Panduranga. Because to whichever kshetra, to whichever holy place we go, we can have darshan of the deity of the Lord over there by maintaining some good distance. But if we go to Pandharpur, it is the only place where we can go inside the Sannidhi of Lord and we can touch His feet and we can take His blessing. And hence Panduranga is known as the most easily attainable God. And hence we say, Vithoba Sarika Daivata Nahi Tukoba Sarika Sadguru Nahi. And at last we say, Tukoba Sarika Sadguru Nahi. There is no Guru who is as good, who is as great as Sant Tukaram Maharaj. The glory of Sant Tukaram Maharaj is unmatched. There is no Guru who has existed till now, nor will there be any Guru who will exist in future who can match the glory, who can match the greatness of Sant Tukaram Maharaj. Such is the glory of Guru Sant Tukaram Maharaj. And on this auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima, we have got an opportunity to look through the life journey of this great Guru, Tukaram Maharaj. So Sant Tukaram Maharaj was born in a Vaishya community in a small town known as Devu near Pandharpur, the state of Maharashtra. He had a beautiful wife named as Jijabai. He had children and he earned his living by running a grocery store. So Sri Sri Anna describes the virtues of Sant Tukaram Maharaj in his book Vaishnava Samhita. Gayan Vithala Namani Nasasmara Jagatrayam Laukikam Vaidikam Karma Nakaroti Yatha Vidhi Sarvada Vitthalam Dhyayan Charati Unmada Cheshtitah Matribuddhim Parastrishu Chakre Bhagavadottamaha Shiraschedapi Samprapte Satyameva hi tatratam Gayan Vithala Namani. He used to constantly chant and sing the name of Vithala. He used to constantly chant Vithala Nama Nasasmara Jagatraya. And while he is at it, while he is chanting the name of Vithala, Nasasmara Jagatraya, he had no consciousness. He was completely unaffected and unaware about his surroundings. Laukikam Vaidikam Karma Nakaroti Yatha Vidhi. Sant Tukaram Maharaj did not know how to perform the worldly jobs. He did not know how to perform the Laukika Karma and the Vaidika Karma because he was so engrossed in the Vitthala Dhyana that he knew nothing other than that. Sarvada Vitthalam Dhyayan Charati Mata Cheshtitah Matra Buddhim Parastrishu Chakre Bhagavadottamaha. After that, he says, Matra Buddhim Parastrishu, except for his wife, he treated all the other women with motherly respect. Such was his devotion and such was his respect towards women. Chakre Bhagavadottama. He was a Bhagavadottama. And also, Shiraschedapi Samprapte Satyamevagi Tatratam. Even if his entire life is at risk, he had one vratha. He had made one promise to himself that I wouldn't die even if my entire life is at risk. Such was his honesty. So in this way, he describes, Sri Anna describes the virtues of Sant Tukaram Maharaj. So as we saw, he ran a grocery store to earn his living, but he did not know how to perform all these worldly duties. So every day he used to go to the grocery store, he used to sit there, he used to take his japamala and he used to chant Vitthala Nama. Whenever any customer came there, usually how does a shop work? If we want to buy any item, in exchange we have to give them money. But in his grocery store, there was no system of any currency exchange. It was all Nama exchange. When a customer came to his shop and he takes a grocery item, Sant Tukaram Maharaj says, this grocery item costs so many Vitthala Namas. They had to say Vitthala Nama to buy all those grocery items, and that was the price which they had to pay. No money, no currency exchange. As we sing in our abhangs, there was no system of currency exchange. It was a Nama Bazaar. As we sing in our abhangs, Nama Ka Bazaar, Pandhari Nama Ka Bazaar. 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 Nama Tadyeti, Nama Tadyeti, Nama Tadyeti, Nama Tadyeti. Koti Kula Uddhara, Koti Kula Uddhara, Koti Kula Uddhara, Pandhari Nama Ka Bazaar. Koti Kula Uddhara, Pandhari Nama Ka Bazaar. Nama Ka Bazaar, Pandhari Nama Ka Bazaar. Vitthala Vitthala Jai Jai Vitthala 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 Jai Jai Vitthala. Vitthala Vitthala Jai Jai Vitthala 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 Jai Jai Vitthala. Nama Ka Bazaar, Pandhari Nama Ka Bazaar. Nama Ka Bazaar, Pandhari Nama Ka Bazaar. He ran a Nama Bazaar where everything was exchanged for Nama. Vitthala Nama was the price which they had to pay. So in this way, all the citizens of Devhu, they benefited a lot because they used to get items for free just by saying Vitthala Nama. But here, Sant Tukaram Maharaj, due to this system, he incurred huge losses. So his wife Jijabai thought, this store is supposed to earn us some profits to run my family, but instead, this has become a burden on my family because because of this store, we are incurring huge losses. So she thought it is better not to go to the store, and hence she said to Tukaram Maharaj, Swami, enough of you going to this grocery store and earning us money. Now you please do not go to the grocery store from tomorrow. He also accepted and he sat at home. He used to take his Japamala and Sarvada Vitthalam Dhyayan. Constantly he used to be in Vitthala Dhyana. He used to meditate upon Lord Panduranga. But Jijabai had to find some way of earning some money because she had to run the family. So she went to nearby household and did some household chores at all those houses and earned some amount of money. Tukaram Maharaj had no clue about Jijabai going to work. But once when he saw Jijabai returning from work, he asked, Jija, where have you been all these days, all this time, all the day? I hadn't seen you throughout the day. Jijabai replied, Swami, since we do not have any earnings from grocery store, I work in nearby households and I earn some amount of money. Tukaram Maharaj said, Jija, henceforth you please do not go to work. I am the head of the family and it is my responsibility to earn money. It is not your responsibility, and I won't shift my responsibility. I won't shift my burden on you. So you please do not worry. I will somehow earn money. Jijabai says, no, Swami, you please do not go to the grocery store again. He says, okay, Jija, I won't go to the grocery store. I will find some other job which suits my capability and I will work accordingly. Saying so, he went out in search of job. Here, Tukaram Maharaj had no intention that he shouldn't perform the karma. He had the intent to perform the karma. However, he was so engrossed, he was so absorbed in Vitthala Dhyana that he wasn't in a state to perform all those karma. So here he said, I will earn some money. Saying so, he went in search of job. He knew that no one in Devu would keep him at employment because they all knew the glory and significance and his greatness, Sant Tukaram Maharaj's greatness. So he thought maybe I should go to some far off village looking for job. Even there, they definitely knew about Sant Tukaram Maharaj's glory, but no one recognized that this is Tukaram. So he went to far off villages, and in one of those villages, there was a landlord who owned huge acres of land and they were cultivating crops over there. So he had he had an agricultural land. That landlord had an agricultural land when he was cultivating corn, and he appointed Sant Tukaram Maharaj in that agricultural land, and he said, your job is basically to act as a scarecrow. You have to stand here and ensure that the birds do not eat away all these corns. And because these birds come and eat away these corns, and I incur huge losses because of that, so it is your job to ensure these crops are not eaten away by birds. Tukaram Maharaj thought, okay, this is the best job which I will ever get, because I can go on the agricultural land, I can stand over there, I can play my tanpura and I can sing Vitthala Abhangs. Because of that noise, no bird will even come near that agricultural land. So my job is also done. I will earn some amount of money. At the same time, I can be in the dana of Lord Vitthala. Thinking so, he accepted the job happily. He came to the agricultural land. He played his tanpura and he started singing Vitthala Abhangs and Vitthala Nama. Rama Krishna Hari Mukunda Murari, Rama Krishna Hari Mukunda Murari, Panduranga Hari Vasudeva, Panduranga Hari Vasudeva, Rama Krishna Hari Mukunda Murari, Rama Krishna Hari Mukunda Murari, Panduranga Hari Vasudeva, Panduranga Hari Vasudeva, Vitthala Vitthala, Vitthala Vitthala, Vitthala Vitthala, Vitthala Vitthala, Vitthala Vitthala, Panduranga, Vitthala Vitthala, Panduranga, Panduranga, Panduranga. This way he was singing in Abhangs, all his Abhangs, and he got so engrossed in Vitthala Dhyana that he forgot that he is doing his job here. He has come here for employment. He has to protect those crops. He had no awareness. He had no consciousness about all those things. And after a while, after this Vitthala Dhyana, when he opened his eyes, he saw that all the birds, all the crows, pigeons, and all the birds have attacked those corns. What should have been his reaction? He should have shooed away all those birds. But instead, since he just came out of Vitthala Dhyana, By seeing all those birds, he thought that Lord Panduranga himself had come in the form of these birds to enjoy all those corns, and hence he was talking to those birds saying, Panduranga, have you yourself come here to enjoy these corns? Saying so, he was talking to these birds and he was enjoying the way they were eating those corns. After some time, when the landlord came to supervise that agricultural land, to his surprise, what he saw was just an empty land, no corn, no crops, nothing. He got very annoyed and he came to Tukaram Maharaj and said, because of your negligence, I have incurred huge losses. So now it is your duty to make good all the losses which I have incurred because of you. Tukaram Maharaj said, no, Swami, I don't have that much money to make good all these losses. That is the reason why I have come to earn money here. That is the reason why I came in search of job. So you instead give me some other work. I will work for free and I will cover your expenses. I will make good all these losses by saving you those expenses. He said, already I regret giving one job to you. I gave such an easy job and you couldn't do that. So how do you expect me to give some other job? So I don't care how you arrange that money. You have to somehow pay me back. Otherwise, I will go to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the king at that time, and I will complain and I will ensure you get punished by the king. Tukaram Maharaj said, no, Swami, please do not go to the king. Please do not go to the king. Was Tukaram Maharaj scared that Shivaji Maharaj would punish him? The answer is no. Tukaram Maharaj was the guru of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So when this landlord goes and complains to Shivaji Maharaj that about Tukaram Maharaj, instead of punishing Tukaram Maharaj, he will punish this landlord because he had threatened his guru. So now out of kripa, out of kindness, Tukaram Maharaj says, no, Swami, you please do not go to the king, because he knows that if he goes to the king, it is not Tukaram Maharaj who is going to be punished, it is this landlord who is going to be punished. So he said, please do not go to the king. And while they were arguing, Tukaram Maharaj cried aloud to Panduranga, hey Panduranga, I am stuck in such a helpless position. Won't you please come and rescue me and take me out of this difficult situation? When he cried out aloud like this, that landlord replied, said, do you think yourself to be Sant Tukaram Maharaj, that the Lord Panduranga himself would come to your rescue? Tukaram Maharaj said, yes, Swami, I am known as that Sant Tukaram Maharaj. I am that Tukaram you're talking about. And when the landlord heard this, he bowed in front of Tukaram Maharaj and he asked for forgiveness, saying, Swami, please forgive me. I have committed such a big sin. You please forgive me and get me rid of all these sins. I did not recognize that you are Sant Tukaram Maharaj. I kept you as a servant in my house, so please forgive me. Tukaram Maharaj accepted his apology. He went to his house. That landlord did Pada Puja to Tukaram Maharaj, and as a token of gift, he gave sugar cane, which was grown in another land of his. He gave as a token of gift so many sugar canes, a cart full of sugar canes to Tukaram Maharaj. He accepted that, and Tukaram Maharaj came in front of Jijabai. Jijabai was very happy that he earned so many sugar canes in such a short while, and she said, Swami, why have you come here? To straight away go to the market, sell away all these sugar canes and make money out of it. Because Tukaram Maharaj did not know that he has to sell these sugar canes and make money out of it. Such was his state. He did not know anything about the world and how the world functions. He was so absorbed in Vithala Dhyana. So hearing this, he headed towards the market. And while he was in his way to the market, there were many children playing on those streets. And when they saw Tukaram Maharaj carrying so many sugar canes, they knew that if we go and say Ramakrishna Hari to Tukaram Baba, he will give away all those sugar canes. Hence, one child came. He said, Tukaram Baba, Ramakrishna Hari Baba, I'm very hungry, so would you please mind giving me one sugar cane? He gave away one sugar cane. Next child came. He said the same thing. He gave away one sugar cane. In this way, all the children playing in the streets, they came and they took one sugar cane. Everyone took one sugar cane. And after a while, when Tukaram Maharaj looked back at the cart, there was only one sugar cane remaining. So he thought, what money will I make by just selling one sugarcane? Instead, I can take this back home and I and Jija can enjoy that sugarcane. Thinking so, he brought the one sugarcane back home. Jijabai, when he returned so quickly, she thought that he sold all the sugar canes so quickly, and she was very happy. Then Tukaram Maharaj said, "No, Jija, I did not sell away all those things. Children playing on the streets were very hungry, and they asked for those sugar canes. So I distributed those sugar canes to those children, and hence I did not sell those sugar canes in the market." And when Jijabai heard this, she started screaming out of anger. Here, every day at home, I'm crying that our own children do not get proper meals. They do not get 2 meals per day. They are dying out of hunger. And you, instead of caring about your own children, you're distributing sugar canes free of cost to children playing in the streets. How could you be so careless? Without understanding her anger, her pain, Tukaram Maharaj had that one sugar cane in his hand. He went and handed over that one sugar cane to Jijabai and told, "No, Jija, I did not distribute all the sugar canes. There is one sugar cane remaining." When he gave that one sugar cane to Jijabai, and when Jijabai heard what he said, she, out of anger, "Ityuktva kopavegena pramadaya sa samjamam ajagana cha bhattaram prashanta hridayam prabhum." Ityuktva kopavegena. Out of anger, she threw that one sugar cane on Tukaram Maharaj, and due to that force, that sugar cane broke into two half pieces. So now, since she threw it on Tukaram Maharaj, what should have been his reaction? He should have in turn got angry, and he should have again screamed at her saying, "How could you beat your husband?" But he did not even have a pinch of anger in him. He, with love and affection, he went and picked those two pieces which had broken, those two pieces of sugar cane, and he went and gave that two pieces to Jijabai, and he said, "Jija, look at the anugraha, look at the kindness and benevolence of Lord Panduranga." He thought that there was only one sugar cane remaining, but there were two people who had to eat it, who had to share it. So he thought that in this matter of sugar cane, we shouldn't fight for sharing that sugar cane, and hence, using your hands and using my bag, he broke that sugar cane into two half pieces so that we shouldn't fight regarding that sugar cane. And when Jijabai heard this, she cried aloud out of regret. She thought, "How could I behave so violently with such a loving and such a patient person? He doesn't even have a pinch of anger in him. He never gets angry. He's such a patient and loving person. How could I behave so violently with him? Isn't it enough that he sits at home, he chants Panduranga Nama, and wouldn't that Panduranga take care of the well-being of my family? So why did I react in such a angry manner, in such a violent manner?" And she asked for forgiveness to Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj very lovingly said, "Jija, do not worry. It is a leela which was played by Panduranga to break that sugar cane." Saying so, he pacified his angry wife, and he overcame the anger and agony of his wife using love and affection. So such was the greatness of Sant Tukaram Maharaj. He never used to get angry, very kind and very, very benevolent person. So we saw that Shivaji Maharaj was a Shishya of Sant Tukaram Maharaj. Sant Tukaram Maharaj, Samartha Ramadasar, Saint Samartha Ramadasar, and Shivaji Maharaj were contemporaries, and Shivaji Maharaj had two gurus, Sant Tukaram Maharaj and Samartha Ramadasar. So how did he attain both of his gurus? Once it so happened that Shivaji Maharaj, after completing a battle, he was resting at the banks of river Narmada along with his troops, along with his army. While they were sitting there, he saw some leaves floating on the river Narmada, and when he saw those leaves, there were abhangs and bhajans written on them. So whenever we see a piece of art or a piece of writing, just by looking at it, we can judge the thought process of the artist or the author. Because the thoughts of the author or the artist artist is reflected through his piece of art or his piece of writing. So when he read those Abans, he understood that this was written by someone of very high intellect, very high stature. So he followed the path from which these leaves were coming, and he reached a cave, and this was the cave where Samartha Ramadasa was doing his tapas. He saw Samartha Ramadasa, he took his blessing, and both these people were of high intellect, and hence they were having conversations about politics, about spirituality, everything. And after a while, Samartha Ramadasa told, Maharaj, you can stay here and you can have your lunch here, you can have your meals here. Shivaji Maharaj was a bit reluctant. He thought, if I had been alone, I would have happily accepted that offer. But now I have come with my entire army. This man is living in a forest, so how will he be able to feed all of us? So he said, Swami, the next time when I visit you, I will surely wait for lunch. But today I have come with my entire army. Samartha Ramadasa said, I know that a king is accompanied by his soldiers. Knowing that, I'm still saying, you please wait here and have lunch. So he couldn't deny. Shivaji Maharaj accepted the offer. Now, Samartha Ramadasa called one of his shishya named Kalyana Goswami, and he said, prepare lunch for all of them. This Kalyana Goswami went to the next cave. He just took two stones, rubbed them together, overturned those stones, and after a while, within few minutes, a grand feast for all of them were ready. Shivaji Maharaj, looking at it, he was surprised, he was baffled. How could this happen? Even in my kingdom, where so many cooks and so many servants are there, lunch is not prepared, such a grand feast is not prepared so quickly. So how did he manage to prepare such a grand feast within a short while, within few minutes? After having his lunch, he couldn't resist himself, and hence Shivaji Maharaj asked Samartha Ramadasa, Swami, how did you manage to prepare all these things? It wasn't one or two dishes. It was so many dishes, such a grand feast. How did you manage to prepare so many dishes within few minutes? Even in my big kingdom, this is not possible. So how did you manage in a forest without any festivities, without any amenities? Samartha Ramadasa, the witty smile on his face, he replied, Shivaji, you go to the town of Dehu. In Dehu, there is a saint named as Sant Tukaram Maharaj. You go and ask this question to that Tukaram. He will give an answer to your question. So he didn't ask any further questions. He returned to his palace. Shivaji Maharaj returned to his palace. And some other fine day, when Shivaji Maharaj was passing through the town of Devu, he remembered that Samartha Ramadasa had mentioned that Tukaram Maharaj was living in this town. So he thought maybe I should have a visit. I should go and visit Tukaram Maharaj. And when he came to Tukaram Maharaj's house, he saw it wasn't a big house. It was just a humble dwellings, a hut-like house. Tukaram Maharaj was wearing torn clothes. His wife was draping a torn sari. His children were looking malnutrition, and just by the look of them, Shivaji Maharaj understood that they were living in dire poverty. So he saw Tukaram Maharaj. He took his blessings. They both had conversations, and after a while, Tukaram Maharaj also said the same thing. Swami, you can wait and have your lunch here and go. This time Shivaji Maharaj was even more reluctant. He thought there at least Samartha Ramadasa was living in a forest without any kind of responsibilities, without any kind of family burden. But here Tukaram Maharaj is a family man. He himself is living in dire poverty. God knows it has been how many days since children have eaten proper meals. So being given this situation, how can I, a king, eat at such a poor man's house? So he was even more reluctant. But Tukaram Maharaj insisted him, and hence he accepted the offer. Then Tukaram Maharaj went inside his kitchen. He brought some fine atta-like powder. He brought some fine powder and distributed it to all his soldiers and Tukaram Maharaj and Shivaji Maharaj. And after eating that fine powder, They were feeling so heavy that they were telling each other, we don't need food for the next 10 to 15 days. All their hunger was satisfied and their stomachs were heavy. Looking at this, Shivaji Maharaj, this time he was even more puzzled. How did this happen? There, Samarth Ramdas's Shishya overturned some stones and a grand feast for all of them were ready. Here, he did not feed us even a single dish. He just gave us some fine powder and all our hunger is satisfied. How did this happen? And even now, he couldn't resist himself and hence he asked Tukaram Maharaj, Swami, how did you manage to do this? You just gave us some fine powder and all our hunger is satisfied. How did you manage to do this? Tukaram Maharaj also replied with a witty smile on his face. He said, Shivaji, you go to the banks of Narmada River. There, in one of those caves, there is a saint named Samartha Ramadasar who is doing his tapas. You go and ask this question to him. He will have an answer to your question. Shivaji Maharaj did not get an answer to his question. However, he just learned one lesson. Do not ever question your gurus. They may do thousands and hundreds of wonders, but do not ever question them. Just enjoy whatever miracles they are doing. And since then, Shivaji Maharaj often used to visit Samartha Ramadasar and Tukaram Maharaj. Samartha Ramadasar was a political guru who used to advise him on how to reign the kingdom and everything. And Tukaram Maharaj was a spiritual guru. So once Shivaji Maharaj thought, I am living in such a huge palace as a king, I'm leading such a luxurious life, I'm wearing gold ornaments, expensive clothes, diamond rings, etc. But my guru, Tukaram Maharaj, is living in such a dire poverty. So isn't it my duty as a Shishya to go and offer him some wealth? Thinking so, the next day he landed at Tukaram Maharaj's house with loads and loads of gold ornaments, expensive clothes, money. And when he landed at Tukaram Maharaj's house, just at the sight of all these things, Tukaram Maharaj fled away from that place, screaming, Hey Panduranga, save me! Hey Panduranga, save me! Tukaramo virakto hi bhita bhito dadhagasaha abhyuthaya grihalintat विलोक्यैतद्धनं बहु केवलं धनमालोक्य भूतदर्शनभीतवत् धावन्तं सान्त्वयामास राजा वैष्णवपुङ्गवम्. Tukaramo viraktohi. Just at the sight of all these wealth and all these luxuries, out of hatred, Tukaram Maharaj ran out of that place screaming, Hey Panduranga, save me! Looking at this, Shivaji Maharaj did not understand why is our guru screaming and running like this. So he came to Tukaram Maharaj, specified him and asked him humbly, Swami, what happened? Why are you screaming? Why are you panicking like this? For this, Tukaram Maharaj asked Shivaji Maharaj, why have you brought all these wealth inside my house? He said, I thought you are my guru and you are living in dire poverty. So it is my duty as Shishya to offer you all these wealth. So I brought it. Tukaram Maharaj said, I will ask you one question. You please reply. There is a queen who is being protected by an emperor who is ruling the entire universe under his reign. Will such a queen who is protected by such a great emperor ever stand in front of a king who is ruling just one kingdom? Will she ever seek help from such a small king who is just the king of one kingdom or one country while she is being protected by the emperor of the universe? Having said so, how do you expect me to accept your help when I am being protected by the Jagat Guru, the king of the universe, Lord Panduranga? You are just a king who is ruling one country or one province. So how can I accept help from you? Wouldn't it be an insult to my Lord, to my Panduranga? So you please do not worry about my well-being. Lord Panduranga has given me a very satisfied life. He is living in dire poverty, but still he says, Lord Panduranga has given me a satisfactory life. Because here, Tukaram Maharaj doesn't value luxurious clothes or money as wealth. What he values as wealth is the Vithala Nama which Lord Panduranga has blessed him with. So he says, Lord has given me a very satisfactory life and he knows to take care of my well-being. So you please take back all these luxuries, whatever you have brought. So Shivaji Maharaj took away all those things. And from this incident, we come to know that Tukaram Maharaj was a person who had overcome the desire for money, who had overcome the desire for wealth, because he considered Vithala Nama as the highest wealth. So a man in general, a man who's stuck in samsara, in general, he faces difficulty in overcoming two obstacles. That is desire for money and desire for wealth, desire for money and desire for women, which we call in Sanskrit as Kamini and Kanchana. Kamini means desire for women, Kanchana means desire for wealth. The incident which we just saw shows us that Tukaram Maharaj had overcome the desire for money. Similarly, one more incident of his life shows us that he was someone who had also overcome the desire for women. So Tukaram Maharaj used to go from place to place, from village to village, conducting his satsang. He used to sing Tukaram Gathas, he used to conduct discourses. So not everyone who used to come to the satsang came with the purest of emotions. So there was one lady, one married woman who had come to his satsang. She was attracted by the youthful nature of Sant Tukaram Maharaj, and hence she thought that somehow I have to attain him. I have to attract him towards me, and I have to attain him. So every day Tukaram Maharaj sits at the bank of Chandrabhaga River and he meditates upon Lord Panduranga. He is in the contemplation of Lord Panduranga and Ratnamai Devi. So that morning, this married woman got her all dressed up. She draped a beautiful saree, wore many ornaments. She got herself dressed up and she came and stood in front of Tukaram Maharaj, waiting for him to open his eyes. She thought that when he opens his eyes and when he sees such a beautiful woman, he will fall for her and hence she can attain him. He will get attracted towards me and hence I can attain him. Thinking so, she came and stood in front of Tukaram Maharaj, waiting for him to open his eyes. At that time, Tukaram Maharaj was meditating upon the Divya Swarupa of Lord Panduranga and Ratnamai Devi together, and he was singing Vithala Abhangs, describing his Swarupa. Sundarate dhyana mubhe vitevari, Sundarate dhyana mubhe vitevari, karakatavari, Devuniya karakatavari, Devuniya sundarate dhyana mubhe vitevari, karakatavari, Devuniya Vishihara Ase pitambara Vishihara Kase pitambara Abde nirantara Kechi dhyana Abde nirantara Kechi dhyana Vithala 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 Panduranga Vithala Vithala Panduranga Panduranga Panduranga. This way, while he completed his dhyana towards the Divya Swarupa of Lord Panduranga and Ratnamai Devi together, and when he opened his eyes, he saw a woman standing in front of him. And since he just came out of dhyana where he was meditating upon Rukmini Devi also, he thought the woman standing standing in front of him is Rukmini Devi herself, Rakumai Devi herself. He thought that she herself had come to bless him, and he completely bowed in front of that woman, saying, "Hey Rakumai Devi, where have you come? Won't Lord Panduranga look for you waking up in the morning? Won't he search for you? Where have you come alone without Lord Panduranga?" Saying so, when he bowed in front of when Tukaram Maharaj bowed in front of that woman, that married woman who did not come with the purest of intentions in her heart, who had wrong intentions when she came to see Tukaram Maharaj. Now, when he worshipped that woman like Rukmini Devi, her heart got purified, her intentions got purified, her thoughts got purified, and now even she did Prati Namaskara. She also bowed to Tukaram Maharaj, and now she started looking at Tukaram Maharaj with Guru Bhava. So here Tukaram Maharaj, not only he had control over his emotions, not only he had overcome the desire for women, also that woman who had come with wrong intentions in her heart, her intentions also got purified. So in this way, both these incidents show that the Tukaram Maharaj was someone who had overcome the desire for both money and women, that is Kamini and Kanchana. So as we saw, Tukaram Maharaj used to go from place to place and conduct a satsang. Also, every night he used to sit at the backyard of his house and he used to sing Tukaram Ghatas and explain its meaning. So there were some Brahmins in the town of Dehu who were jealous of Tukaram Maharaj's success and fame. They also used to conduct discourses, but no one used to attend their discourses. Everyone used to go to Tukaram Maharaj satsang. So they thought, we are doing discourse on Dharma Shastra, which is written in Sanskrit, which is the Deva Bhasha, but no one attends our satsang, but everyone attends Tukaram Maharaj satsang. So they were envious of his fame and success. The locals of Dehu was more attracted to Tukaram Maharaj satsang because Tukaram Maharaj showed a much simpler way of attaining the Lord. These Brahmins used to preach about Dharma, they used to talk about the righteous path of Dharma, but that was a much difficult path to attain Lord. But Tukaram Maharaj used to give them simpler solutions. He used to say, you just go and have darshan of Lord Panduranga. You just go and have holy bath in the river of Chandrabhaga once in your lifetime. You just say Vithala Nama and you will surely attain the holy feet of Lord Panduranga. In this way, he used to give much simpler solutions, and hence everyone attended Tukaram Maharaj's satsang. So they were jealous of his success, and there was one Brahmin named as Rameshwara Bhatt. He, being envious of him, Tukaram Maharaj, he used to go around the town defaming him, abusing him, and spreading rumors about him. When Tukaram Maharaj came to know about all these things, he went to Rameshwar Bhatt's house because he had huge respect for Brahmin. He said, Swami, I am Tukaram. I heard from people that you were of the opinion that my Marathi abhangs are wrong and they are not pleasing the Lord. So you please guide me in the right direction. This Brahmin said, you are writing abhangs in Marathi, but Sanskrit is the Deva Bhasha and Lord is pleased only by the language of Sanskrit, that is the Deva Bhasha, and not by Marathi. So you're just fooling around people and you are fooling yourself and you're misleading people by writing all these abhangs. So you throw away all your abhangs in the river of Chandrabhaga and you please come and attend my satsang. So he thought, Tukaram Maharaj thought, maybe I am doing something wrong. So he threw away all his abhangs. He made a bundle of all his abhangs and threw it away in the river of Chandrabhaga. Although he made a heavy heart and threw away all those abhangs, but for the next 2 to 3 days, neither did he have proper meals nor did he have proper sleep. He was sitting very disappointed, thinking, in every abhang, I wrote about the glory of Panduranga. I wrote about the glory of Pandharpur and Chandrabhaga. In none of the above I wrote about my glory of, or did I write any about worldly things. In every abhang I wrote about the glory of Lord Panduranga. Having said so, why didn't he say to throw all my abhangs in Chandrabhaga? So he was very disappointed for the next 2 to 3 days. And after those 2 to 3 days, when in Pandharpur, the priest of Pandharpur sang their morning morning hymns, Suprabhata, and when they opened the temple door of Lord Panduranga, Suprabhate Vitthalasya Dadrishe Makutopari Tukaramena Likhitam Pustakam Sundaram Tatha. Suprabhate Vitthalasya. When they sang that Suprabhata and opened the temple door of Lord Panduranga, to their surprise, they saw Dadrishe Makutopari. They saw a big bundle placed on the crown of Panduranga. So they did not understand how this bundle came in Panduranga's crown. So when they opened that bundle, they saw many abhangs written all over it, and in all those abhangs, Tukaram Maharaj's signature was there. Tukamane. Tukaram Maharaj's signature was written in all those abhangs. So when they inquired all around the town, it was then that they got to know that Tukaram Maharaj had threw all his abhangs in the Chandrabhaga river, and Lord Panduranga with great pride took Tukaram Maharaj's abhang and placed it in his town so that the abhangs written by this bhakta is not lost. So when Tukaram Maharaj came to know about all these anugraha of Lord Panduranga, he was overwhelmed with emotions that Lord Panduranga himself placed Tukaram Maharaj's abhang in his crown. And when Rameshwara Bhatt came to know about this incident, Nyatva Sarvancha Vrittantam Prahrishta Vaishnavattada Bhakta Shreshtam Tukaramam Pujayama Suradharate. When this Rameshwara Bhatt came to know that Lord Panduranga himself saved Tukaram Maharaj's abhang and placed it in his crown, he ran to Tukaram Maharaj out of regret and he asked for forgiveness from Tukaram Maharaj. So Tukaram Maharaj could have reacted in an arrogant way and he could have said to this Rameshwara Bhatt, you told me to throw away all these abhangs, but just look at the kripa of Lord Panduranga. He kept my abhangs in this crown with great pride. So he could have spoke so arrogantly to Rameshwara Bhatt because Rameshwara Bhatt was wrong. However, even in this situation, he chose to be polite, he chose to be humble, and with great humbleness, he said, Swami, you please do not seek forgiveness from me. It was Lord Panduranga who played such a leela using you and me as an instrument. So this was a leela, this was a play played by Lord Panduranga himself. So there is no mistake of yours in this. Do not blame yourself and please do not ask for forgiveness from me. And you please do not go in front of me. You are a Brahmin and I am a Vaishya, and it is me who should go in front of you. And he pacified this Rameshwara Bhatt with great politeness. So even when Rameshwara Bhatt was wrong, he handled the situation with great politeness, and Tukaram Maharaj wholeheartedly accepted Rameshwara Bhatt. In this way, Tukaram Maharaj won over everyone with his love and affection, and we can go on and on about the wonderful incidents of Sant Tukaram Maharaj's life. So when it was time for Tukaram Maharaj to reach the holy abode of Lord Panduranga, Lord Hari, Lord Panduranga himself sent his Garuda Viman to pick Tukaram Maharaj from earth to reach Vaikuntha. So when this Garuda Viman reached the earth to pick Tukaram Maharaj asked Jijabai, Jija, I am going to Vaikuntha, would you like to accompany me? Jija thought he is going to Pandharipur because every time he went to Pandharipur, he used to say, I am going to Vaikuntha. So she thought the same way he is going to Pandharipur right now. So she said, Swami, I am busy in household chores, so you please go, I'll follow you later. And since she said like that, he went and sat on the Garuda Viman, and there was one servant who was sitting there. He asked, would you like to accompany me to Vaikuntha? He said, yes, Swami, I'll come with you. he also sat on that Garuda Viman. And when the entire crowd, when all the folks and local people of Dehu were witnessing Sant Tukaram Maharaj while chanting Vithala Nama, flew in the Garuda Viman which came from Vaikunta and reached the holy abode of Lord Panduranga. So what is the lesson which Sant Tukaram Maharaj, Guru Tukaram Maharaj taught us from his life journey is, if we with a devotion chant Vithala Nama, with ultimate devotion, if we chant Vithala Nama, we will definitely attain Lord Panduranga's abode. We will definitely attain the holy feet of Lord Panduranga. This is the lesson which Guru Sant Tukaram Maharaj showed us from his wonderful life history. So on this occasion of Guru Purnima, we got an opportunity to look through the life journey of Guru Sant Tukaram Maharaj. I would like to end this discourse by praying to Lord Panduranga and praying to all our Gurus that we get the opportunity to attend more and more such satsangs, and we get an opportunity to chant Vithala Nama just as Tukaram Maharaj guided us. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda Janaki Kanta Smaranam Jai Jai Rama Rama Sadgurunatha Maharaj Ki Jai Pandharinath Maharaj Ki Jai Veera Dheera Sura Parakramanjaneya Swami Ki Jai. Radhe Krishna. Saira.
Wow, that is the wonderful life journey of a great devotee. Thank you so much. And he has reached that Vaikunta with his body, right?
Yes.
Along with his body. Yeah. So that is indicating that there is no death as well when we are chanting Panduranga. And great path he has created for all to follow through. And yeah, and all that examples where you said the person Tukaram ji has no anger, he has no any desire basically to put forth apart from Panduranga is wonderful. And it is the one which all of us need to contemplate more and be so in our lives as well. Thank you, Nana. It was great listening to Tukaramji and Sairam. Have a wonderful and blessed day and moments always. And yes, we love to hear from you again on the saints as well. All the devotees of Swami, we love to hear from you further. Thank you, and Sairam Bangaru. Take care. Anyone wish to speak? You can unmute yourself and speak. Sairam.
Hare Krishna. It was awesome to the core. We were just transported to another world. We were actually seeing how Pandharinath would have done these miracles for Tukaram Maharaj. It was really very, very beautifully narrated, Aditi. You have that divine blessings in you, and you are really a gift to this world. Thank you so much for sharing everything so beautifully, and your abhangs were very, very beautiful. And we could feel the connect, the divinity in you. Thank you so much for being there, and please come very often and enlighten everyone with your beautiful abhangs, your shlokas, and your excellent upanyasams. Thank you so much, Ma. Radhe.
Yes, you have made us to be there actually, to see all that is happening. It's like we are there in that village, or we are there following the Shivaji Maharaj, and everything is like so visual. And it was so beautiful to see. Thank you, Bangar. Thank you. Sairam. Okay, we are having 20 more minutes before we start Lalita Sahasrama and Vishnu Sahasranamam for today. Anyone would like to sing or say or share their views? You are most welcome. Saira.
Namaji, whenever possible, please send this video to me so that I can forward it to Aditi and her guru. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
ஸ்பீக்கிங் நம்ம பேசுறது இருங்க. உங்களுக்கு போட்டாலும் கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது. சுட்டாலும் இருங்க, எதுவும் சத்தம் ஃபுல்லா சொல்றீங்களான்னு பண்ணுங்க. எல்லாம் போட்டு பார்த்தேன், ஒன்றும் வர மாட்டேங்குது. அதையே
Yes, ma. You are saying something.
கப்பா எடுத்துருங்க, அது இதாவே கேக்குது. ஸ்பீக்கர்ல போடுங்க.
You wish to sing something? Okay. Julius, you can stop the recording. You are here? Oh, okay. Julius?
करचरण कृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितमविहितं वा सर्वमेतत् क्षमस्व विहितमविहितं वा सर्वमेतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो करचरण कृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितमविहितं वा सर्वमेतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतंगमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री नारायण पुरुषोत्तम गुरुतो सिद्धबोधतो स्कंद विनायक सविता ब्रह्ममाद्यतो यः शक्तितो येषु पिता प्रभुतो रुद्रविष्णुतो रामकृष्णतो रहीमदावुतो वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तु चिदानंद हरितो अद्वितीय तो अकाल निर्भयात्मलिंग शिव तु परमात्मलिंग शिव तु परमात्मलिंग शिव तु। ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक संरक्षक पति महेश्वर। ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीधरा सर्वा प्राणपथे स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपथे आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बांधव। ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवं मर्यन्तयो नीवे स्वामी मर्यन्तयो नीवे नाथ ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयना। ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेव सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल हारति अंधुको मंदर गिरिधारी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा। ओम शांति शांति शांति। जय भोलो श्री भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। Sai Ram, we will be continuing with Lalita and Vishnu Sahasranam. Sister Ratna.
Sai Ram, sister,
Sai
I
Ram.
think the session is in record mode if you may want to.
Yes, it is there. I asked Julius to stop, but he might not be near the device, so
Okay.
it's okay.
Sure. Okay,
I will message him again.
Yeah. Sai Ram, yeah, not a problem. And sister, after you do the Vishnu Sahasranam, please do the Aarti, okay? Because I won't be near my phone. I may be online, but I won't be able to do the Aarti, okay? Sai Ram.
Okay.
Yeah, Sai Ram. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ओम अस्य श्रीललिता दिव्य सहस्रनाम स्तोत्रमाला महामन्त्रस्य वशिन्यादिवाग्देवता ऋषयः अनुष्ठुप् छन्दः श्रीललिता महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी देवता ऐं बीजं क्लीं शक्तिः सौः कीलकं श्रीललिता महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थे जपे विनियोगः। ऐं अंगुष्ठाभ्यां नमः क्लीं तर्जनीभ्यां नमः सौः मध्यमाभ्यां नमः ऐं अनामिकाभ्यां नमः क्लीं कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः सौः करतलकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः। ऐं हृदयाय नमः क्लीं शिरसे स्वाहा सौः शिखायै वषट् ऐं कवचाय हुं क्लीं नेत्रत्रयाय वौषट् सौः अस्त्राय फट् भूर्भुवस्वरोमिति दिग्बन्धः ध्यानं सिन्दूरारुण विग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखी मापीन वक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मणिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं मृदपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमाद्यभिरावृतां मयूकैः अहमित्येवं भावये भवानीं ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्तां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्रायताक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसद्धेम पद्मामराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलस्वर्णतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दहसितेक्षणां सशरचापपाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनी मरणमाल्यभूषाम्बरां जपाकुसुमभासुरां जपविदौ स्मरेदम्बिकां लं पृथ्व्यात्मिकायै गन्धं समर्पयामि हम आकाशात्मिकायै पुष्पैः पूजयामि यं वायुवात्मिकायै धूपमाग्रापयामि लं अग्न्यात्मिकायै दीपं दर्शयामि वम अमृतात्मिकायै अमृतमहानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि सं सर्वात्मिकायै सर्वोपचार पूजां समर्पयामि ओम ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्री मात्रे नमः श्रीमाता श्री महाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुंड संभूता देवकाज समुद्यता उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहु समन्विता रागस्वरूप पाषाढ्या क्रोधाकारांकुशोज्ज्वला मनोरूपेक्षु कोदंडा पंचतन्मात्र सायका निजारुण प्रभापूर मज्जद ब्रह्मांड मंडला चंपकाशोक पुन्नाग सौगंधिकल सत्कचा कुरुविंद मनिश्रेणी कनक कोटीरमंडिता अष्टमी चंद्र विभ्राज दलिकस्थल शोभिता मुखचंद्र कलंकाभ मृगनाभिविशेषक वदनस्मर मांगल्य गृह तोरण चिल्लिका वक्त्रलक्ष्मी परिवाह चलन मीनाभलोचना नव चंपक पुष्पाभ नासा दंड विराजिता ताराकांति तिरस्कारी नासाभरण भासुरा कदम्ब मंजरी क्लुप्त कर्णपूर मनोहरा ताटंकयुगलीभूत तपनोडुपमंडला पद्मराग शिलादर्श परिभावि कपोलभूः नव विद्रुम बिंबश्री न्यक्कारी रतनच्छदा शुद्ध विद्यांकुराकार द्विज पंक्ति द्वयोज्वला कर्पूर वीटिका मोद समाकर्षद दिगंतरा निज सल्लाप माधुर्य विनिर्वत्सित कच्छपि मंदस्मित प्रभापूर मज्जत कामेश मानसा अनाकलित सादृश्य चुबुक श्री विराजिता कामेशबद्ध मांगल्य सूत्र शोभित कंदरा कनकांगद केयूर कमनीय भुजान्विता रत्नग्रैवेय चिंताक लोल मुक्ताफलान्विता कामेश्वर प्रेम रत्न मणि प्रतिपणस्तनी नाभ्यालवाल रोमाणि लता पलकचद्वये लक्ष रोम लतादार तास मुन्नेय मध्यमा स्तनभार दळन्मध्य पट्टबन्धवळित्रया अरुणारुण कौसुम्ब वस्त्र बास्वत्कटी तटी रत्न किङ्किणिकारम्य रशनादामभूषिता कामेश ज्ञात सौभाग्य मार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता माणिक्य मकुटाकार जानुद्वय विराजिता निन्द्रगोप परिक्षिप्त स्मरतूणा भजंगिका गूढ़गुल्फा कूर्म पृष्ठ जयिष्णु प्रपदान्विता नखदीदिति संचन्न नमज्जन तमो गुणा पदद्वय प्रभाजाल पराकृत सरोरुहा सिंजानमणि मंजीर मंडित श्रीपदाम्बुजा मराळी मंद गमना महालावण्य शेवदिः सर्वारुणा नवद्यांगी सर्वाभरण भूषिता शिवकामेश्वरांकस्ता स्वाधीन वल्लभा सुमेरु मध्य शृंगस्ता श्रीमन्नगर नायिका चिंतामणि गृहांतस्था पंच ब्रह्मासन स्थिता महापद्माटवी संस्था कदम्बवरवासिनी सुधा सागर मध्यस्था कामाक्षी कामदायिनी देवशिगण संघात स्तूयमानात्म वैभवा बंधासुर वदोद्युक्त शक्ति सेना समन्विता संपत्करी समारूढ़ सिंदूर व्रज सेविता अश्वारूढ़ा दिष्टिताश्व कोटि कोटिभिरावृता चक्रराज रथारूढ़ सर्वायुध परिष्कृता गेय चक्र रथारूढ़ मंत्रिणी परिसेविता किरिचक्र रथारूढ़ दंडनाथ पुरस्कृता ज्वाला मालिनी काक्षिप्त वाह्नि प्राकार मध्यगा भंड सैन्य वदोद्युक्त शक्ति विक्रम हर्षिता नित्या पराक्रमाटोप निरीक्षण समुत्सुका भंड पुत्र वदोद्युक्त बाला विक्रम नंदिता मंत्रिण्यंबा विरचित विशंग वदतोषिता विशुक्र प्राण हरणा वाराही बीजनंदिता कामेश्वरम खालोक कल्पित श्री गणेश्वरा महागणेश निर्भिन्न विघ्न यंत्र प्रहर्षिता भंडा सुरेंद्र निर्मुक्त शस्त्र प्रत्यस्त वर्षिणी करांगुली नकोत्पन्न नारायण दशाकृति महापाशुपतास्त्राग्नि निर्दग्धासुर सैनिका कामेश्वरास्त निर्दग्धा सबंधा सुरशून्यका ब्रह्मोपेन्द्र महेन्द्रादिदेव संस्तुत वैभवा हरनेत्राग्नि संदग्ध काम संजीवनौषधिः श्रीमद्वाग्भव कूटैक स्वरूप मुख पंकजा कंठाधः कटिपर्यन्त मध्य कूट स्वरूपिणी शक्तिकूटैक तापन्न कट्य दोभागधारिणी मूलमन्त्रात्मिका मूलकूटत्रय कळेबरा कुलामृतैक रसिका कुल संकेत पालिनी कुलांगना कुलांतस्था कौलिनी कुलयोगिनी अकुला समयांतस्था समयाचार तत्परा मूलाधारैक निलया ब्रह्म ग्रंथि विभेदिनी मणिपूरांत रुदिता विष्णु ग्रंथि विभेदिनी आज्ञा चक्रांतराळस्था रुद्र ग्रंथि विभेदिनी सहस्राराम्बुजारूढ़ा सुधा साराभिवर्षिणी कटिल्लता समरुचि षट्चक्रोपरि संस्थिता महाशक्तिः कुंडलिनी बिसतं तुतनीयसी भवानी भावना गम्या भवारण्य कुठारिका भद्रप्रिया भद्रमूर्तिर्भक्त सौभाग्यदायिनी भक्तप्रिया भक्तिगम्या भक्तिवश्या भयापहा शांभवी शारदाराध्या शर्वाणी शर्मदायिनी शांकरी श्रीकरी साध्वी शरश्चंद्र निभानना शातोदरी शांतिमती निराधारा निरंजना निर्लेपा निर्मला नित्या निराकारा निराकुला निर्गुणा निष्कला शांता निष्कामा निरुपप्लवा नित्यमुक्ता निर्विकारा निष्प्रपंचा निराश्रया नित्यशुद्धा नित्यबुद्धा निरवद्या निरंतरा निष्कारणा निष्कलंका निरुपाधिर्निरीश्वरा निरागारा गमधनी निर्मदा मदनाशिनी निश्चिंता निरहंकारा निर्मोहा मोहनाशिनी निर्ममा ममता हंत्री निष्पापा पापनाशिनी निष्क्रोधा क्रोध शमनी निर्लोभा लोभनाशिनी निस्संशया संशयग्नि निर्भवा भवनाशिनी निर्विकल्पा निराबाधा निर्भेदा भेदनाशिनी निर्नाशा मृत्युमधनी निष्क्रिया निष्परिग्रहा निस्तुला नीलचिकुरा निरपाया निरत्यया दुर्लभा दुर्गमा दुर्गा दुःखहंत्री सुखप्रदा दुष्टदूरा दुराचार शमनी दोषवर्जिता सर्वज्ञा सान्द्र करुणा समानाधिकवर्जिता सर्वशक्तिमयी सर्वमंगला सद्गतिप्रदा सर्वेश्वरी सर्वमयी सर्वमंत्रस्वरूपिणी सर्वयंत्रात्मिका सर्वतंत्र रूपा मनोन्मनी माहेश्वरी महादेवी महालक्ष्मीर्नृप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्वा महाशक्तिर्महारतिः महाभोगा महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धिर्महासिद्धिर्महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंत्रा महामंत्रा महायंत्रा महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या महाभैरव पूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्प महातांडव साक्षिणी महाकामेश महिषी महात्रिपुर सुंदरी चतुष्षष्ट्युपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टिकलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटि योगिनी गणसेविता मनुविद्या चंद्रविद्या चंद्रमंडल मध्यगा चारुरूपा चारुहासा चारुचंद्रकलाधरा चराचर जगन्नाथा चक्रराजनिकेतना पार्वती पद्मनयना पद्मराग समप्रभा पंचप्रेतासनासीना पंच ब्रह्म स्वरूपिणी चिन्मयी परमानंदा विज्ञान गण रूपिणी ध्यान ध्यातृध्येय रूपा धर्मा धर्म विवर्जिता विश्वरूपा जागरिणी स्वपंती तैजसात्मिका सुप्ता प्राज्ञात्मिका तुर्या सर्वावस्था विवर्जिता सृष्टिकर्त्री ब्रह्मरूपा गोप्त्री गोविंद रूपिणी संहारिणी रुद्ररूपा तिरोधानकरीश्वरी सदाशिवानुग्रहदा पंचकृत्यपरायणा भानुमंडल मध्यस्था भैरवी भगमालिनी पद्मासना भगवती पद्मनाभ सहोदरी उन्मेष निमिषोत्पन्न विपन्न भुवनावलिः सहस्रशीर्ष वदना सहस्राक्षी सहस्रपात आब्रह्म पिक्कीट जननी वर्णाश्रम विधायिनी निजाज्ञारूप निगमा पुण्या पुण्यफलप्रदा श्रुति सीमंत सिंदूरी कृत पादाब्जधूलिका सकलागम संदोह शुक्ति संपुट मौक्तिका पुरुषार्थ प्रदा पूर्णा भोगिनी भुवनेश्वरी अंबिकानादि निधना हरि ब्रह्मेन्द्र सेविता नारायणी नाद रूपा नाम रूप विवर्जिता ह्रींकारी ह्रीमती हृदया हेयोपाधेय वर्जिता राजराजार्चिता राज्ञी रम्या राजीवलोचना रंजनी रमणी रस्या रणकिंकिणी मेखला रमा राकेन्दु वदना रति रूपा रति प्रिया रक्षाकरी राक्षसग्नि रामा रमण लंपटा काम्या काम कला रूपा कदम्ब कुसुम प्रिया कल्याणी जगती कंदा करुणा रस सागरा कलावती कलालापा कांता कादंबरी प्रिया वरदा वामनयना वारुणी मद विह्वला विश्वादिका वेद वेद्या विंध्याचल निवासिनी विधात्री वेद जननी विष्णु माया विलासिनी क्षेत्र स्वरूपा क्षेत्रेसी क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञपालिनी क्षय वृद्धि विनिर्मुक्ता क्षेत्रपाल समर्चिता विजया विमला वंद्या वंदा रुजन वत्सला वाग्वादिनी वामकेशी वह्निमण्डलवासिनी भक्तिमत्कल्पलतिका पशुपाश विमोचनी संहृताशेष पाषण्डा सदाचार प्रवर्तिका तापत्रयाग्नि संतप्त समाह्लादन चंद्रिका तरुणी तापसाराध्या तनुमद्या तमोपहा चितिस्तप्त दलक्ष्यार्था चिदेकरस्वरूपिणी स्वात्मानंद लवीभूत ब्रह्माद्यानंद संततिः परा प्रत्यक्षती रूपा पश्यन्ती परदेवता मध्यमा वैकरी रूपा भक्तमानस हंसिका कामेश्वर प्राणनाडी कृतज्ञा कामपूजिता श्रृंगार रस संपूर्णा जया जालंधर स्थिता ओजानपीठ निलया बिंदुमंडलवासिनी रहोयाग क्रमाराध्या रहस्तर्पण तर्पिता सद्य प्रसादिनी विश्व साक्षिणी साक्षिवर्जिता षडंग देवता युक्ता षड्गुण्य परिपूरिता नित्य क्लिन्ना निरुपमा निर्वाण सुखदायिनी नित्या षोडशिका रूपा श्रीकंठार्ध शरीरिणी प्रभावती प्रभा रूपा प्रसिद्धा परमेश्वरी मूल प्रकृतिरव्यक्ता व्यक्ता व्यक्त स्वरूपिणी व्यापिनी विविधाकारा विद्या विद्या स्वरूपिणी महाकामेश नयना कुमुद आह्लाद कौमुदी भक्तहार्द तमोभेद भानु मद्भानु संततिः शिवदूती शिवाराध्या शिवमूर्ति शिवंकरी शिवप्रिया शिवपरा शिष्टेष्टा शिष्ट पूजिता अप्रमेया स्वप्रकाशा मनो वाचा मगोचरा चिच्चक्तिश्चेतना रूपा जड़ शक्तिर्जडात्मिका गायत्री व्याहृति संध्या द्विज वृंद निषेविता तत्वासना तत्वमयी पंचकोशांतरस्थिता निस्सीम महिमा नित्य यव्वना मदशालिनी मदघूर्णित रक्ताक्षी मदपाटल गंडभूः चंदन द्रव दिग्दांगी चांपेय कुसुम प्रिया कुशला कोमलाकारा कुरुकुल्ला कुलेश्वरी कुलकुंडालया कौल मार्ग तत्पर सेविता कुमारगणनाथांबा तुष्टि पुष्टिर्मति धृतिः शांति स्वस्तिमती कांतिर्नंदिनी विघ्ननाशिनी तेजोवती त्रिनयना लोलाक्षी कामरूपिणी मालिनी हंसिनी माता मलया चलवासिनी सुमुखी नलिनी शुभ्रू शोभना सुरनायिका कालकंठी कांतिमती क्षोभिनी सूक्ष्मरूपिणी वज्रेश्वरी वामदेवी वयोवस्था विवर्जिता सिद्धेश्वरी सिद्ध विद्या सिद्ध माता यशस्विनी विशुद्ध चक्र निलया पायसान्न प्रिया त्वक्ता पशुलोक भयंकरी अमृतादि महाशक्ति संवृता डाकिनीश्वरी अनाहताब्ज निलया श्यामा भावदन द्वया दंष्ट्रोज्वला क्षमालाधिधरा रुधिर संस्थिता कालरात्र्यादि शक्त्यौघवृता स्निग्धौदन प्रिया महावीरेन्द्र वरदा राकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी मणिपूराब्ज निलया मदनत्रय संयुता वज्रादिकायुधोपेता डामद्यादिभिरावृता रक्तवर्णा मांसनिष्ठा गुणान्न प्रीतमानसा समस्त भक्त सुखदा लाकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी स्वादिष्टानां भुजगता चतुर्वक्त्र मनोहरा शूलाद्यायुध संपन्ना पीतवर्णातिगर्भिता मेधोनिष्ठा मधुप्रीता बन्दिन्यादि समन्विता धध्यन्नासक्त हृदया काकिनी रूपधारिणी मूलाधारा भुजारूढ़ा